Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Shadow Chandelure and having a little fun with this thing. So it's going to be fire and ghost type. We can also use Skeledirge, which is going to arguably be the better one to use. But with Shadow Chandelure, we're going to be doing a ton of damage. We're going to be going with Flame Charge, Incinerate, and Shadow Ball, and it is absolutely insane. So let's have a little fun with this thing here. Again, you know, it's not something you would typically want to go into the Ultra League with or go Battle League for any league, as a matter of fact, using Shadow Chandelure, but I'm going to bring it to you so you can see what's going on. Having a little fun with my Ultra League Zarude as well, and we're going to be pairing it up with the Feraligatr for the majority of the time. I do believe we're going to be putting on Dragonite, and that one is going to remain on the team alongside it because it just works that well. So with that said, let's see what we have going on here. It will be doing a lot, as a matter of fact. I was quite impressed. When you go into the game in a mindset thinking, you know, I'm just going to have some fun here. I'm not going to just not try, you know, I'm going to, you know, put forth the effort to win. But if I lose, you know, I see what I'm using and it is just going to be that way. Then you have a lot more fun, honestly. All right, so what's going on here? We have the Feraligatr up against the Jellicent. As soon as they seen that crunch, they backed out, and we're going to be taking that win there. All right, so I'm going to have a little fun. We're going to go unedited a few times so you can see what the game wants to throw at me when I switch my lead. You know, no rants, no all that stuff. We're just going to see and have a little laugh at it. So we put Glade up front, okay? It was starting to hit me with a few different hard counters, so I decided to just switch my team to see if we can maybe have a neutral one or something good. And a Dragonite. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Synchronize is an option for Glade, but both of our charge moves are not very effective, so we're not looking too great here, but that's all right. We're going to go straight for the close combat. What the hell? Well, whatever. Let's just go for it. There's Shadow. So we're going to go ahead and bring in that Feraligatr. That Dragonite does have quite a bit of energy here. And we're going to go ahead and let the first one go. I do believe we're going to shield up. All right, we're going to be able to beat them there. Go for the Hydro Cannon, take them out, or they're going to be using their last shield. It's all up to the Chandelure, and they swap and lock themselves in here with a Lowland Sandslash. So, I mean, if there was any Pokemon I wanted to see with the Chandelure, it would be that one. And we're going to immediately throw the Flame Charge here, and I think we're going to have a little fun. This is the first game I was able to do a little something with it here. We did a couple of things in the other battles, but they do have a Registeel in the back. We would have absolutely toasted them, so they're going to be backing out. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see that health go down with the Shadow Chandelure, but that's okay. We're taking that win with a nice little sweep at the end there. Next game, we were met with a Sylveon. So yeah, not a good lead for the Glade, so we're going to go ahead and swap into the Feraligatr, and they're bringing in their Walrein. So as we do have a pretty good counter to go up against that Sylveon, that is going to be our Shadow Chandelure, but you know what? It just can't take a hit, especially as a Shadow. I think it's even squishier than Excadrill. I'm pretty sure it just might be. It's incredible. So we have to be very careful on what we do here. So we have the Skeledirge and Glade out here. We have the Chandelure, but we're going to go ahead and bring in the Glade so we can just kind of take the brute force here. They're going to be able to take us out, swap and lock themselves in here with the Chandelure. We go for the Flame Charge, and I think they're going to just charm us down. Yeah, unfortunately, and we still had two shields. We were preparing to be able to take hits, but damn, we couldn't even take the moves that we resist. So getting a little comfortable with Chandelure still, as you can see. All right, next game, we're going to be met with an Ampharos. All right, this is a pretty neutral matchup here. No problem, we'll take this. And we're going to go ahead and shield up this first Brutal Swing here and build up to that close combat. Do they want a double shield? Please let it go. And they do. Okay, that's just great. Almost one-shotting them. They're not Shadow, so unfortunately it's not going to be able to KO. We're going to obviously let that go. Now we're going to go ahead and bring in the Feraligatr to go ahead and take out the electric type that we didn't want to see with our water type there. And they're bringing in a Gardevoir. All right, we're going to go ahead and start spamming them with this. I think we're going to want to swap into the Chandelure here. And they're going to retrieve energy. They have no more shields. Check this out. Can we just about one-shot a Giratina? Yep, we do. So 2 Incinerates plus a Shadow Ball from a Shadow Chandelure will one-shot a Giratina. That's pretty incredible. They come in and farm me down with Charm. Now they're going to be going for Triple Axle here, which is going to raise their attack. We need to get to that Hydro Cannon, and we get there just in the nick of time to take out this Gardevoir with our Shadow Feraligatr. We're using an all-Shadow team here. I didn't, look, before I would really focus and be like, okay, all right, all-Shadow team, this one, all right. Now I'm not even thinking about it. It's just like if it ends up that way, it ends up that way, and I don't even realize it until I'm making these videos and editing. All right, so they were in there with the Obstagoon. They're going to be retreating, and they catch a Leaf Blade on their Talonflame. All right, so we bring in our Feraligatr here, which is going to be a good matchup. But if they have Brave Bird, good night, sleep tight to that Feraligatr there. We're going to go ahead and shield it up, and it is going to be a Flame Charge, and that's not so great for us here. Now, Chandelure can go up against the Obstagoon, but of course, taking one of those Night Slashes is probably going to pretty much KO us, right? So we're going to let this go. It is going to be another Flame Charge, and we get to the Hydro Cannon. They do swap into their Feraligatr, and that's perfect, or into their Obstagoon, which is perfectly fine because we're still doing a ton of damage there. Bringing in the Glade and getting off the Leaf Blade here. No need to go for the close combat. We're not going to be able to Psycho Cut them down, but I'd rather just let this go. And all right, we're looking good. Throwing another one here, exactly. So you have all this energy. Now we're going to be able to go in here with our Chandelure and farm them down. Start building up that energy. Still holding on to one shield. You're definitely going to have a shield if you're going to want to use that Chandelure. They're bringing in a Shadow Feraligatr. They should KO with Shadow Ball. Let's go. All right, one-shotting that Feraligatr. And Talonflame, you're up next, buddy. And I do believe we're just going to incinerate them. As a matter of fact, I don't even go for the charge move. Yeah, just taking them down with quick moves. Just taking out a fire type with a fire type move. Great. All right, next game we're met with a Pidgeot. So I immediately back out. I was not having it. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and just take that loss 2-3. And I'm going to show you here. I just want to, no edits. So you can see exactly how it's going here. Again, no rants, just showing you. We are going to put Muck up front, right? I do believe we're going to go with the Shadow Muck, the one we just showcased a couple videos back. Is actually very good. As a matter of fact, this team, though, probably not the best put together team as far as this Muck now in the front, but I was just curious to see what it would throw at me. So let's see what's going to happen here. Putting this Poison type with Poison Jab up front. A Steelix. Okay, Ground and Steel. Yeah, you see, that's the way the cookie crumbles for me, you see over here, folks. So I fought this one out. I do believe until the very end. I'm friends with this person. They messaged me, good game. I was a little annoyed. I was like, oh, I had a bad lead, and first Steel type I saw. Acting like old pissed off grandpa or something. But yeah, good game, I guess. I mean, do you see though how somebody could get annoyed by that? Okay, exactly. Next game, we're met with a Poliwrath, and we do need to look out for that Ice Punch. It's going to be doing quite a bit of, would Ice Punch or Icy Wind? You know what I mean? Icy Wind. You know what I mean? Shiny or Shadow, it might have, but we were going to shield it up, farm up a whole bunch, and they're bringing in Trevenant here, winning that swap and letting it go as they did lower my attack. I do believe they shield this one up here, and Dragonite is an amazing Shadow to use, and we're still all Shadow team. Again, not intentionally trying to, it's just the way it works. And we're going to go ahead and use our last shield there. They do have a Haxorus. We're going to go ahead and go for the Flame Charge so we can just do that much more damage because I already knew they're going to shield it up here. All right, so we're just doing that much more with the Incinerate. This is going to KO, I do believe, a Night Slash. Yeah, okay, taking me out there. And we do have Dragonite. We throw that one in first to do as much Dragon Breath as possible. But the bad part is now that just gave them farm, but they're not going to have 2 charge move. There's no way that's going to be able to happen. We're just going to simply Shadow Claw them down, and we take that win with the Feraligatr in the back there. Very nice. Next game, what are we going to see? Dragonite up against Bronzor. Oh, just okay, just random. All right, this is fine. Actually, I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to work out with the Chandelure here. They let it go, unfortunately. I mean, actually, that's pretty good. I mean, that's pretty good. We swapped to catch with our Feraligatr. Very good. And they're bringing in their Calistopod. So an X-Scissor, whoa, it's just about going to KO us here. Oh my gosh. That does a lot of damn damage. I guess it's because we're Shadow. Wasted all that freaking energy though. That's a little unfortunate. Bringing in the Dragonite here. And it is already low health. And we do have the Chandelure in the back, which let's see what we can do. What we're going to have to do is just use both of our shields and just start going crazy with the Flame Charge. Let's see what we can pull off here. Bring in that Bronzor, and that's exactly what they bring in. We're going to go for the Flame Charge, and now what's going to get hit by Shadow Ball? What are we going to one-shot? What is it going to be? A Hitmontop. All right, so actually I'm not going to go Shadow Ball. I'm just going to go for another Flame Charge. I should have just went for it, right? Oh, they have a shield. Pay attention, Poke. Oh my goodness. All right, that's why. So we do resist the counter. I don't think there could have been a better Pokemon to see, or at least anything with a counter move like that would have been great, or a grass move, anything we resist. Otherwise, they would have just taken us out with quick moves because we just can't take the hit. So the game worked in my favor there at the end. All right, we are met with another Shadow Dragonite, which has higher attack. Okay, that's okay. We'll bring in the Chandelure to farm up here and start building up that energy. Nobody's used the shield, sounds good, and they're bringing in a Cresselia. So Moonblast is still going to do quite a bit. If you're with Skeledirge, you're loving this situation here, unless if they do have Future Sight. So we're still shielding it up. Even a Grass Knot at this point is still going to do a lot of damage because we just can't take a hit with this thing. But again, it's really fun for that damage if you like to see their health just melt away. But of course, you're going to have to use your shields all day for it. So we're going to go ahead and double shield it and get to the next flame charge, take them out. I'm thinking, what do you have in the back? Show me some grass. Show me some grass. And do we have it? Unfortunately not. It's going to be Cobalion, but we get to the flame charge. Before we do, 3 Incinerates took it out. Did you see that? Did you see that damage? That was 3 Incinerates, right? Damn, that's crazy. After 2 flame charge. Next game, we have a Clefable. Well, that's a horrible lead. We're going to swap into the Feraligatr as the Chandelure is going to be the actual counter for that. And they're bringing in Giratina. We're going to go for that crunch. They shielded up, no one better. And I don't blame him. Or maybe they just thought it was going to be Ice Beam too. So yeah, double threats there. Going for another crunch. And if you haven't heard me, the reason why I go for crunch over the Ice Beam is so that I have a little bit more coverage when I'm going up against a water type. For instance, I don't Tapu Finn or some. Well, Tapu Finn's a bad example because it resists crunch too, right? So in that case, you just go Hydro Cannon and you're screwed anyway. All right, so they're going to be bringing in the Clefable and then swap into the Swampert and locking themselves. Oh, no. I'm sorry. It was a countdown. I picked correctly, and they had to swap because it was a bad matchup. Since I made that coin flip decision, it's not skill-based. It's coin flip decision at that point. They had to swap by bringing the Dragonite in as a wrap. It's just completely a wrap. Shadow Dragonite. Regular Dragonite destroys Swampert, unless you have Sludge Wave. All right, so going to go straight for the Shadow Ball here on Chandelure, the star of the show. And again, I had a lot of fun using this thing. The investment is there for the secondary move because it is going to be Shadow, and it could cost you a decent amount of Stardust to power it up for the Ultra League, but is it worth it if you're into having fun? For sure. As far as using something as a fire type attacker in raids, this thing's going to go down extremely fast, but if you have a pretty good IV one, I probably would make that investment. All right, but anyways, on to the game here. We're going to be able to farm down that Swampert and barely just get to the Dragon Claw up against this Giratina here, and they are letting it go, holding on to both of their shields. Sounds good to me. We're going to go ahead and bring in the Feraligatr here, since we're going to be doing some pretty good Shadow Claw damage. I'm going to let this first one go here. Sounds good. Kind of putting all of my hope into the Shadow Chandelure yet again. It's just really fun to do that. If you have shields and something's not doing super effective quick move damage, you're going to be doing pretty alright, I suppose. But then again, I did leaving that example with the Sylveon just so you understand what you're getting yourself into, and you can be charmed down even if you have 2 shields. And they do have a shiny Steelix, and well, it's a wrap for this thing here. And they let it go because it was over. It was over. All right, moving it on to the next game, we're going to be met with the Haxorus. With my luck, it will have Dragon Tail. Of course it does. Of course it does. Yeah. You already know what it is. All right. So we'll let this go here and go ahead and farm them down with the Feraligatr. And great, they didn't get to a breaking swipe. And they're bringing in an Ampharos. Sounds good. We're going to go ahead and get off this Hydro Cannon and then immediately swap into the Chandelure here. As we are going to be able to take these hits. I wouldn't even say a little bit better, but at least we're doing a ton of damage. And they do have a Muck in the back. We're going to go ahead and start vamping up our attack with that Flame Charge right away. Plus, Shadow Ball is not very effective, so of course that's what you're going to go with. I throw this again here because I wanted to get a shield out of them. Alright, I figured they wouldn't because that would have been a complete waste, so holding on to it for the Ampharos, but we're just doing so much damage with our Incinerate after we farmed up or we raised our attack that it just takes them down without them having to be able to use their shield. Alright, next game we have another mirror match with the Dragonites. Let's go. This time it is going to be Shadow versus regular, and I'm getting off my Shadow Claw first, which is crazy because I do believe the attack in this one is 1, so that must have been 0, or they just didn't hit it. But let's see what happens here. Getting to another one just in the nick of time with that Empoleon. So this is actually still okay. Feraligatr can take the hits here, and if we needed to bring in the Chandelure, at least we resist the quick move this time around since they're using Wing Attack or Steel Wing, and we can farm them down because they are part Steel. But they're going to be swapping into their Ampharos, and the Feraligatr is still looking pretty healthy with yellow health here. We're going to definitely shield all of this up here and go for these charge moves. I think we can actually farm them down at this point, but it might be a little bit of a risk. We didn't sneak that last one through, so I think we might just have to throw it. So let's see what happens here. And yeah, just go ahead and take them out. It's just way too slow with that Incinerate. They shield it up because they're getting to the next one, which is perfectly fine. Unless we can get to a charge move here. This is going to be pretty close. And, oh, we just farmed them down. All right, I forgot how much health they have, and then they back out. We take that win. There you have it, folks. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!